It
Café CLIL
is.
24,
It's
Art
number
CLIL
24.
Part 2.
24, my God, yes, yeah. Well, look at that. It's pretty arty, that. A bit of Japanese art there for you.
It is
It's
a wonderful
well done.
mug. I mean,
I
mine,
like
mine
that.
is mine is quite interesting because it's kind of patchwork owl patterns, and that goes with my sewing background. Did you know I'm a sewer?
I didn't know that. You are many things, Keith. I know you're a Renaissance man, but I
Well,
didn't know
my,
you were
my
so.
mother, when I was 50, and she was visiting for my 50th birthday, she bought me a sewing machine. And I have a friend who runs a shirt factory, and they were dumping lots of cut-offs from
Yeah.
their shirt production. And I asked Lela Vanya, can I have your shirt cut-offs? And I started making bags and things, and we turned it into quite a project at Anglia School of interesting proportions, which is related to our theme today because it's all about arts and crafts in Anglia School. Well, to give lots of examples to our listeners and viewers of following up from Julia Mena Dobson's big picture look at Art CLIL. And so, I mean, what my take on it, I know you've had a chance to look at the discussion I had with Diana Dimitrova, my school manager, is I'm amazed how she manages to turn everything into an art focus. You know, we do have a thematic curriculum, Phil, but our thematic curriculum, for example, this last week, we were looking at rainforests. And the week before, we were looking at ocean animals. And we spend a week on, or sometimes 2 weeks on, a theme like that. And so for every theme we've got throughout the whole year, you'll find dotted among the themes a whole host of art and craft activities, just like the ones that Diana showed in her presentation.
She illustrates many things, Keith, doesn't she? I mean, we said we would preface this because it's a slightly different format that she uses, and so
Yeah,
it seemed better to sort of say what's coming as opposed to what she'd spoken about.
yeah,
And I liked that. But what's very interesting is and very different from the way Julia did it, is that she begins almost like a language teacher, you know, and talking
yeah,
about the surat painting, where she says you can use it for present continuous,
yeah, yeah,
past simple, and question forms. It's interesting the way that she begins with that English teacher perspective with the language. You know, they're using the surat painting as
yeah,
present continuous,
yeah,
question forms, past simple, and
yeah.
then but as the video progresses, she becomes more and more, art focused. Even though I'm not suggesting that's right or wrong, it's just interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what a guild teacher is, really, isn't it? I mean, they can dance between the two. I think
Yeah,
the further it goes on, the more you see that she's deeply embedded as an art teacher, and
yeah.
what I love about it is the way that, as you said before, that she can kind of produce. She seems to produce an idea from anything. It's good.
It's amazing,
I
really.
mean, yeah, Picasso's trousers. I mean, I know that book. I mean, Picasso's trousers. You could probably base a whole curriculum on Picasso's
You
trousers if you
could,
really
couldn't you?
wanted. But it's just great the way that she shows what the shape of art is in order to get
Yeah,
people producing language. It can be both written and
yeah,
spoken, and she
yeah,
talks about that. And
yeah.
that's not necessarily the objective. The Seurat one, for example, actually eventually ends, doesn't it, with the kids also creating their own painting based on the
Pointillist
Seurat. And so
painting,
the
yeah.
the art the art objective is always still there, and that's what I really
Yeah,
like, the way she came
yeah.
around. But I love the whole thing. It's just so many.
And the other thing to point out, I mean, I sort of gave her a prompt to say, talk about the style, techniques of art that you're developing in the children, and along with what language is developed. So she probably thought about put that at the front to begin with. But I agree with you. She sort of slips nicely in an amphibian way into art shoes, which is, I think, very symptomatic of what we're talking about, isn't it? That in a way, CLIL is about teachers who can move quite fluidly between language and content and concepts. But I have to say, in Diana's case, and the other teachers who adopt a similar approach when they see what she's doing and access the materials she's produced, there's so much preparation involved for it to go very smoothly, and that's a flag of warning to wave, really. I think is along with the organisation, it's so clear of her. It's so clear that it's a passion for her, you know, and that makes me think of Robinson's element, because, you know, finding out what makes you tick. Well, Deanna has found her element. It's using what she loves about art to develop English, and we're very lucky to have her doing that, I think. Now, the organisation question is very important, because you have to have things very easily accessible for all teachers and the learners, in fact, because, you know, and that's the thing I think about what we do to get out of the book, Phil, because we if you came to my school one day, you will come, I will make you come, you'll find tidy boxes populating rows of shelves.
Yeah, you can see them in the video. They're behind I noticed them.
Yeah. And so that's all there, you know, it's all been it's all there for a newbie, let's say, a new teacher to come along and take off the box from the shelf and have a look at rainforests, which it was the session I joined this last week. And it's organic as well. You know, that's the other great thing about coming away from the book, is that an approach which gathers materials and language and activities and ideas in one place can grow in different directions. And that's what happens with all the new skills that Deanna picks up. She recently took on a class, I think it was painting on glass. She got into that in quite a way. And so we've taken some of those skills that she's developed, and we paint on glass bottles or on metal drinks bottles that the children then take home when they personalize them. You know, so there's so many things that are organic about the curriculum, but the thematic structure is there for teachers to work within, you know, in any direction they like.
And you're talking about very young learners as well, Keith, and that's the focus, I think, of this particular podcast. You know, this is, you know, we're not talking about art here with 15 and 16-year-olds, although, of course, you know, for me, there's always an exponential that you could reapply to other ages. It's also an interesting training thing. You know, okay, that's very good. Yeah. Now apply that to kids who are 10 years older or 10 years younger, and make people think about that. I think but yeah, the preparation aspect is true, and particularly with very young learners. Not that I'm an expert, you know, but of course you've got to be prepared, and you have to have everything available physically speaking, because of the kids' language level.
Right. Okay. Yeah. The really great thing about the recording, I would say, in kind of conclusion, really is it's a huge bag of tricks among many, many, many more. So, you know, my kind of take on it and recommendation to teachers who work with young and very young learners is have a look, make notes, and try them out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I would say as well. You know, and also see the, you know, the exponential possibilities of, as you said, you use organic, you know, of developing every idea. But I just love the way that you know, she just gets the ideas seemingly not from nowhere, but the Klimt stuff, and you know, and it's, you know, just the doodling idea, and I'd never think of that. But when you watch this, I think, okay, I could think about thinking about it.
Welcome to Café CLIL 24. It's a real pleasure to have my friend and colleague, school manager, host of visiting teachers, plus the great creative mind that is Diana Dimitrova, who manages my school for me and is also a really talented teacher and artist. So welcome to Café CLIL, Diana. It's a pleasure.
Hi, Keith. Nice to see you.
And what you've prepared for us today as kind of this part 2 of our Art CLIL is a focus on very young learners. We had Julia Mena Dobson sharing her very broad knowledge on art for young learners. With slightly older young learners than the ones we tend to work with in Anglia School, because we take children, I think, officially as long as they're not wearing nappies, we'll take them. I don't think we have anybody that young at the moment, but we have a child who's just turned 4, so just gone from 3 to 4. And I think what you're going to show today is a magical collection of what the opportunities are, what the possibilities are for learning English through art activities with very young children. And I'm very grateful for you agreeing to come and do that, Didi. Now,
Yeah, the pleasure is all mine.
the pleasure is all yours. I appreciate it so much. And I hope this will be the beginning of several visits to Café CLIL, because you've got so much to share and offer. As long as I can, you know, organize it in a way that it fits within our theme and you feel happy about it, we'll do more, because there's so many things to share, I think. Today, it's art. And you do have a structure to your slides. And I wanted to go to this slide because what we'll do is in the notes, I'll put the PowerPoint available for anybody who wants to have a look at it with all the examples. And you've kind of got these in red, looking at art, sharing art, creating art. And the wonderful thing is you've got lots of examples for each of these three areas. So if you don't mind, let's jump straight ahead to the first example. Tell us what we can see here, what the technique is that you taught, and what language the children were developing while they were doing it.
Okay, so yes, I just want to say that sometimes, depending on the age or level of students, or maybe not every school has the possibility to work with a lot of materials, so it's not always appropriate to create a piece of art, but you can still use art in the classroom as a teaching tool and to learn English and practice English. So in this picture, we can see George Seurat. This is pointillism. They use small dots of paint. They don't mix the paint on a palette, but they mix it on the canvas by just adding simple yellow, blue dots, and then they get green. So some of the pictures are very useful to produce and practice. For example, in this one, you can practice the present continuous by asking questions or asking students to write a short text or just tell a story in the present continuous or the past continuous. You can play a game. While I was walking by the river bank, I saw a woman was feeding a dog, and then children can memorize this, and another one can add to this sentence. While I was walking by the river bank, a woman was feeding a dog, and a man was walking a monkey. So they can have a memory game and practice past continuous, for example.
Wonderful.
Or whenever I travel around the world, I like buying different types of, for example, I bought this book from the Picasso Museum in Malaga, or these cards from Italy. So I like using them a lot. And when you just look at art and not create it, for example, we can have simple pictures where children can imagine who these people are. They can make something like mini biographies or even ask questions. We can use this for speaking. Who are you? What is your name? Where are you from? Without even knowing who this person is. And maybe later we can tell them that this is Frida Kahlo and a little bit about her story. So they can make a lot of conversations
Wonderful.
based on these cards.
Shall I forward a little bit? Because you're going to be talking about, I think, some of the other things that are in the images. Shall I stay there or shall I forward a bit?
Yes. We'll go, but before we move on, I want to show a sketchbook that I do with, for example, maybe secondary students. Based on these cards. because the cards on the back, they have some information. What is the name of the picture,
Yeah.
who the artist was, when it was painted, where, what is it made of, and where can I see it? And
Yeah.
they have a quick, short information about. So based on these cards, sometimes with my secondary students, we create a sketchbook.
Okay.
For example, this one is based on Mona Lisa. They put a picture of the piece of art of or work of art
Yeah.
here. Then they ask me questions. What is the name of the picture? Who painted it? We practice the past simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Then I answer their questions. They write them down. And at home, they have to write questions and answers in the past simple and create a piece of art uh, inspired by the original picture. So here we
Wonderful.
have, I will just quickly show a few. We have Picasso and abstract art, uh, Henri Matisse,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
make collages and
Wonderful.
there's interesting Gustav Klimt, Salvador Dali,
Yeah. Yeah.
and many others.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And I
So
remember with the collage idea, during the Da Vinci 500 celebration, you spent a whole week doing all sorts of artwork with all age levels as well. And even with the youngest children, you got them
exactly,
making collage representations of the Mona Lisa, for example, using tissue paper.
yes. If you remember, the younger ones, uh, they did these collages with
Yeah.
different types of paper, and
Yeah.
the older ones, they made copies of famous, the most popular uh,
Yeah.
Da Vinci pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful.
We still
It's
have
wonderful.
some
I mean,
around.
that's something we should explain about Anglia School reality, isn't it? That we do have children who may be mixed ages in the same group, and you know that doesn't necessarily mean that their language is a lower level. We get all sorts of different backgrounds of children, don't we, coming?
Yes, yes.
Sorry.
That's why we do different types of, for example, sometimes when we sit down and do an art activity,
Yeah.
if we have younger learners, younger children in the group,
Yeah.
I just help them or maybe just adapt the craft or art activity
Sure.
according to
Sure.
their age.
And I remember that recently, my last visit, we were working with a pop-up book. You got the children to make a pop-up book of animals in the ocean, and the children had to create their own little quick sketches of the different animals, and there were all sorts of reactions to that in the class. From one girl sitting next to me, I think it might have been Sophie, who I can't do that. And then I managed to get her to actually copy my sketch right in front of her to
Yes, yes, yes.
other children who could cope quite easily, to other children yet younger who needed to be helped with a lot of the drawing. It's very varied.
Yes, yes. And what I noticed this summer, because we are doing a lot of art during this summer school,
Yeah.
uh, I noticed that children got more and more confident. In the beginning,
Yeah.
they wanted just to copy my pictures,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is also fine. Some of my activities are I draw and give instructions on the
Yeah.
whiteboard, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have to follow me. Of course, every picture is
Yeah.
different, although they're following
Yeah.
instructions.
Yeah.
Every picture turns out different. But now they're so confident that they don't want me to draw on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have their own ideas, and I want to say something about a
That's
lot of
okay.
examples here around the
No,
room.
no, that's great.
Uh, so what else we do a lot this summer is doodle art. I introduced them to doodle art, and we like going back to it. So last week during the marine animals topic, I gave them this print, and we started doodling over this print. And what I like about art is that their imagination starts working immediately. I just told them, okay, how about making an underwater party? I'm going to add a hat on my shark. And they started adding loudspeakers, axes, balloons, and it turned into a real underwater party. And they got so excited about doing and adding different things, and their imagination starts.
Absolutely. I mean, let me scroll forward. I'm going to go back to these, but I'm going to scroll forward to your Klimt example, because in your Klimt example, which I think you can see on my screen now, this is a similar doodle art approach, isn't it? And so what you're doing, like with the underwater party, the children choose what doodle style to put in the spaces that they're filling in. Tell us a little bit about that approach.
Well, here with the Klimt example that we have, of course, first I like working a little bit on lines, dots, and the technique of doodle art. So we do a quick activity, 20 lines and patterns. And first we practice only lines and patterns. And after that, in different activities, because some art activities, they can be based on the artist himself. So here, for this one, we got inspired by one of his pictures. And using these lines and patterns, we created this dress. And of course, the gold that he started adding in his pictures as a background. But you can use these lines and dots in many of the artworks, many other artworks.
In an underwater party.
Yes, the underwater
Can I take
party.
you to another? Can I take you to another favourite of mine? I do apologise for doing this because you've got so many wonderful things to say, but I'm aware Phil and I always limit ourselves to 30 minutes, so I want to get as many examples in as possible. And the Keith Haring stuff, is that the first image? Oh no, this one is the first image about Keith Haring.
Yes, this is the first one, yes. I also wanted to talk about this one.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Keith Haring and what you do with his work.
Well, here, as you can see in the slide, the first project is a classroom poster. It's supposed to be done by young learners. This is Mikko. He is about 4 years old at this time. So it is supposed to be done with young learners, with toddlers and maybe early preschool. They made these white prints, and I cut these people in the style of Keith Haring. So they just had to make the prints and stick the people in the picture.
Yeah. And the next slide carries on the theme, doesn't it?
Yes, with the other one, the next one that you have, here we are practicing, the vocabulary that we practice is sports. We had a sports week, so the children themselves, they cut, they chose a sport, I think a sports flashcard, and they had to draw a person doing that sport, but very simple, like Keith Haring, and then cut. They also made, I think they made these prints. Where is my, yes. They made these prints first, then they had to stick the sport. And after that, in the group, we asked questions. For example, I am doing gymnastics. What are you doing? And the next child says, I'm skateboarding. What are you doing? You can do a lot of things here with this one.
Yeah. It's all about motion, isn't it? That's a key towering thing,
About
isn't it? It's all
motion.
about movement and motion. I think there's another slide
Yes.
here as well, isn't there? This is a lovely activity. Tell us about this activity, Didi.
This one is a game. They roll the dice, and first they have to draw a hand. After that, they roll the dice, and then they get the arms. There is a lot of speaking that can be done here as well. And we created different types of people in motion.
Wonderful. And actually the dice game approach, I've seen you use in other ways as well. I think you have a dice activity for creating your own Gruffalo character, don't you?
Yes, yes.
So it's a very flexible way to combine shapes and forms and body parts and other images together for children to be able to create their own creation.
Yes, yes. After we do the Gruffalo, I like using this one for practicing, for example, have got, the word have got. Because after they do the Gruffalo, I have it somewhere here. Oops. After they do the Gruffalo, they can describe it. My Gruffalo has got prickles on his back, turned out toes, he's got purple pants,
Yeah.
green eyes, thick eyebrows, and so on.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, I'm guessing now, because those two things, you mentioned Picasso's trousers from a visit that you collect books, and here we've actually got the children creating self-portraits in the style of Picasso. Are there more things here? Yeah, tell us a little bit about this, because you've got a few slides on Picasso and Cubism. Maybe you could say a few things about that.
Yes, sometimes I make a session based on the differences between abstract and realistic art. And
Yeah.
Picasso and Cubism is a very, even in the book, they learn that in the beginning he started doing realistic art, and actually he was very good at realistic art, but abstract art gave him something more and more to explore. So he explored with many techniques, printing techniques, sculptures, and so on. So yes, abstract art is a perfect way. I do it with all kinds of topics. For example, we've done it with musical instruments, where they draw a part of a guitar, piano keys. I do it with body parts. It's perfect for the face and body parts. This little triptych, yes, this one.
It's the next slide, I think, isn't it, this one?
It's the next slide. Yes, I have it here. It's perfect. Here we have Kandinsky and other abstract artists.
Yeah.
So it's perfect for doing shapes, talking about shapes and colors. Art has no limits. You can adapt it to any topic, vocabulary, grammar unit you want to practice.
And I think it's worth saying, isn't it, that your organization follows our thematic curriculum in Anglia School. So you're always looking for ways to adapt our thematic curriculum with artistic activities for the children.
Yes, yes. Every piece of art that you see here is based on a topic from our curriculum. Yes.
Yeah. And so, in fact, what colleagues might not realize is when they come and see these wonderful creative techniques and activities is we have a planned yearly curriculum, but I think the magic of it is somebody like you with an obvious talent and skill like art, and also crafts, I have to say to our viewers and listeners, is you bring in not just art techniques, you bring in all sorts of creative ideas, and then you make our curriculum fit a wonderful activity for the children to do. And in that way, our organic curriculum takes on lots of possibilities for other teachers to have a go at something they've not tried before.
Yes, yes. sure. In this one, it's based on Elmer.
Yeah.
Before the children, I drew a big poster of Elmer with his squares on the body, but they were all black. It was black and white.
Yeah.
So I told them that Elmer lost its colors because it has something to do with exactly this story. Because Elmer felt different, and he, at certain point, he lost all his colors,
Yeah.
and we have to bring them back. And before they made these prints and made Elmer patchwork elephant again, we mixed colors.
Yeah.
They learned how to. Um, we had only red, yellow, and blue, and we made all other colors like pink,
Super.
orange, green. So first we mixed the colors, and then
Yeah.
we made the
And
prints.
they're using sponges, aren't they, to do the printing with, something
Yes,
like
yes,
that?
to do the printing and put the colors back on Elmer and make
Yeah.
him patchwork again.
Yeah. It's wonderful. I can't remember what the song is that goes with it, but there's probably a song that goes with it as well, isn't there? I can't remember.
Almost with every activity, I have a song.
Yes, I know.
It's not just painting and drawing. We
Yeah,
usually repeat something, some
yeah,
rhymes, songs,
yeah.
words.
And along with Elmer and getting back his colours, I think this is a story as well, isn't it, about a dinosaur who and dinosaur in shapes. Tell us more about this.
Yes. This is the story If Dinosaurs Came Back. It's a very nice book with doodle art in the background, and on every page there is a different dinosaur.
Yeah,
And this dinosaur can be used as a water slide or um, or a ladder. So it's a very nice story.
yeah,
This one exactly is also it can be done with toddlers. Maybe if teachers just print a copy of the background. I cut the body parts of the dinosaur. We learn simple body parts like head, neck,
yeah.
body, legs, and tail. And the
Mm,
children just stick the pieces, the body parts.
yeah, yeah,
Well, the next slide.
yeah. I saw that one. Yeah,
Yes, on the next slide, we just practice doodle art, and maybe I can find some pictures, they must be on the website, where the children did their own ideas.
okay, okay.
Um, so maybe I can find some more photos.
Wonderful. And also to point out here, within our dinosaur theme, and you've created this connection with a story, but also the art technique, you're using the sun to create these prints on inked paper, which the children then bring back to fix the shape, and then they doodle onto the image.
Yes, exactly. This technique is called cyanotype. We have it here as well.
Yeah,
One day
wonderful.
I took them to the park and we did handprints where
Yeah,
they printed their hands in the sun. But yes,
yeah.
the background for this one, it is cyanotype.
It's amazing. It's really amazing. And you know that I have to say, I'll bring us to kind of a conclusion because you might not believe it, but we've been talking for quite a while, and we've
Yes.
created lots of lovely content for our colleagues. But I wanted to say that the real value I see amongst the many things when I visit your classes and the children are so deeply involved in these activities is how they slow down. You can actually touch the silence when they're concentrating so much on what they're doing. And I feel that that's such a valuable thing these days where things have got so speedy and fast and swiping to receive what we're looking for and so on, that our young children need to be able to slow down, to create, to think slowly. And that's not a critical thing. Thinking slowly is a very positive thing for everybody to be able to make decisions about steps to take to create something. And I really appreciate that in your work.
Yes, and I think that this thing and creating all these emotions and making them happy helps them learn better and memorize.
Yeah.